Estonia is widely known as a country inspired by music, with its very liberation strongly linked to song. It therefore came as no surprise to some when the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, conferred on the city of Tallinn the title UNESCO City of Music in November 2021. A little background. The UNESCO City of Music program is part of the larger UNESCO network of Creative Cities program, which was launched in 2004 with the aim of highlighting the role of culture and creativity in sustainable urban development. There are 7 categories in this network, and it's worth noting that one city can belong to only one category. And so, Tallinn joins other Estonian cities like Tartu for literature and Viljandi crafts and folk arts, or rather folk art, as a UNESCO creative city. Now, one may wonder, why Tallinn? And what does this mean for Estonia's capital? I have been joined in the studio by 2 gentlemen. Now, he's no stranger to our podcast. Lennart Sundja is the head of culture in Tallinn's Culture and Sports Department. And next to him, we have Reigo Ahven. He's a fantastic drummer. You should check him out. He's a television show host and the founder at Fairmus. It's a fair trade and revolutionary music streaming platform. We also like to call him a music educationist. Thank you very much for joining us, gentlemen.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
All right.
Indeed.
First question, why Tallinn? I think that would go to you.
Well, it's on one hand, it's a very simple question, and it was a simple question for us because, I mean, Tallinn is a music city, and, you know, it's been a music city since the Middle Ages. And if you think back to all this singing revolution process and our also UNESCO intangible heritage listed song and dance festival traditions, then it's quite obvious. Then on the other hand, of course, as you mentioned, there are 7 different categories, and there are many great designers in Tallinn, and you know, many talented filmmakers. So we could be many of those other categories as well.
And that would have been my second question. Why music? In all those categories, like exactly like you said, 7. Why music? Why did we, or Tallinn, go for music?
But I think, all in all, I think we had a greater interest from the music sector, who actually were also addressing us and asking, you know, should it be something that we should pursue? And if you think about, I mean, how music education is linked even to the general education program in Estonia, it's actually, you know, we take it as self-evident, but it's quite unique in the world. And I think our music life is very vibrant, and, you know, mentioning already the song and dance festival traditions, we also have so much new music. We have so many talented world-class composers, conductors, music groups that are famous in the world. Famous drummers.
Kinda. Yes. Thank you.
So you know, it was a logical choice for us.
How did this news come to you? How did you take it as an artist?
Obviously, I popped the champagne, but I was linked to the idea of becoming the UNESCO City of Music, also from the start. And I must say, this is something that I really do love about Estonia and love about Tallinn. That when I had this wild idea that one day we should combine 2 things that are really dear to me, and I know that a lot of people cherish it as well. It's the really best preserved medieval mead town in Europe, but maybe in the world. And maybe we should combine architecture with jazz music. That is also really like international and universal, and it is the main thing is the spark of creativity. I'm linked to a jazz club that is called Philly Joe's.
Ah, yes, it's Old Town.
It's in Freedom Square.
Vabaduse-Väljak, right?
Vabaduse-Väljak,
Awesome.
yes, exactly, beautiful.
Yes.
And it's Freedom Square, Vabaduse-Väljak 10, so everybody can find it. But it has been going on for 8 years, and 4 last years we have had a perfect partnership with Tallinn.
Okay.
So for me, it's a miracle. I lived in New York for half a year. We tried to start a Philly Joe's New York there, and obviously I have been to tens of different jazz clubs, and never ever in any city you can ever find a jazz club that is so in the middle of the city center. It's like it's impossible, but somehow it's in Tallinn. It is possible. So for me, the music capital of the world is, in jazz music sense, for at least, is Tallinn.
Now, besides jazz music that you zeroed in on, let's look at the music industry as a whole. How do you think, I think that would go to you, Lennart, how do you think that this title, what impact, rather, would it have on the music industry, or could it just be like a ceremonial one?
When it comes to UNESCO City of Music, it's on one hand it is a title, and you can take it as a appreciation, token of appreciation what we already have. But on the other hand, it really is an opportunity. And it's a network. It's a network of like-minded cities. It's a network of cities who have, all agreed that this is an area we want to focus on. We want to figure out how, even though we are doing good, we can do even better. And I think from why we were also successful bidding the first time, because not everybody manages to do that.
Some people, actually the first time.
Try 2-3 times. So, so I'm really happy about that. I think the main ingredient of success was that we didn't do it alone. We gathered 80 professionals from different organizations, from the Music Academy to Choral Society to drummers like Reigo. So it's about gathering all these relevant players in the field, and we did a music strategy for 4 years. So I think, well, the key elements there, of course, it's about internationalization, it's about cooperation, it's about creating opportunities to do something together with other musicians. It's also very much about audience development and music education. It's about, through music, building a more cohesive society and community. It's about accessibility, because I think last year we also had, we did one survey, asked people why they don't participate in cultural life as actively as they could or as they would want to. And, of course, if you leave aside the more banal answers, like I don't have enough free time, then quite high on the reasons was, it's the tickets are too expensive, the cost prohibitive aspect of it. Yeah. But then it could be also, other reasons, like I would like to go, but I don't have nobody to go with, or I would go, but happen. I can't take my kids along. Or
babysitters are quite...
Yeah. And, maybe there are also some clever ways that we can offer solutions to these kind of problems. But another important topic is also the music industry sector, because, and this is something we intend to do also within these 4 years, that actually...
As part of the strategy?
It's part of the strategy that we also will measure the economic impact of several music festivals, because, I mean, we all know that it's more than what it's ticket money. Yeah. A lot of people get to offer their services and get their salaries from the big event. But in order to be able to prove it also to others, we want to measure it more than we have done before.
Do you foresee an economic impact in the sense that is it something that is going to be significant?
I don't think the title itself really matters that much, but if together with all the partners that we have around the table at the moment, if we work 4 years, then I'm pretty positive that there are going to be positive results.
Okay, so it's more a matter of what we do with this title on the ground. I mean,
the city of Tallinn has, of course, also allocated a budget over 300,000 euros a year for new initiatives, for new projects. But, you know, it doesn't have to be always completely new things. It can be also empowering some existing things. And one thing we also want to do is to make music more visible or perhaps audible in the city environment, in the cityscape. You know, be it some musical installations, be it some musical sculptures, be it some. You know, it can be walking routes with a soundtrack, or you know, these are all things that we still are going to work on. We don't know exactly what they're going to be.
Why should Tallinners care about, you know, Tallinn being designated a music city?
Everyone knows somebody who has been to the song festivals. Everybody has somebody in their family who has really had some. You know,
experience?
Like academic training of music. So for me, the UNESCO Music City title is kind of like a call to action. So we really can now put our finger to like one of the priorities, maybe culturally, because Tallinn is small, but I think it's like really super. Like clever city, and obviously
it's a smart city.
And it's a pragmatic city. So I'm a really big fan of the psychological balance. And I think, you know, the people who really work hard, and as we know about the unicorns and the startup culture in Estonia, there are people that work like 3 days in a row. So I think music is definitely one of the things that we can actually say, like, music makes the world a better place, and it really can take the load off your shoulders, and everybody can find a music, like style of music or an artist to relate to, and obviously all the people in Estonia and in Tallinn are super proud of sharing the city with one of the most performed living composers in the world. I don't know, 5 years in a row, Arvo Pärt. So can you imagine, you cannot actually go and meet Mozart or Beethoven, they are busy, but you can actually meet in a grocery store Arvo Pärt and ask like, hey.
You feel like
I mean, to add to what you're saying, I think maybe more directly, of course, this platform offers possibilities to musicians to do projects together with their colleagues abroad. But this, then again, you know, translates to a richer musical life in Tallinn later on, because these things. You know, in music and in culture in general, these kind of interpersonal links are actually the things that is sustainable. This is something that keeps giving the fruits later on.
Yeah, and if I could add just 2 things, one of the beautiful things that has kind of grown. Through the concrete has been Tallinn Music Week. Yes. It has grown, and the Tallinn is like really looked at like a music city already for all those years, because all those experts fly from all over the world to hear, to witness the music, the fresh music and the fresh ideas of the region. I saw in the States, sometimes people didn't know what is the capital of Estonia, which is obvious. You know, there are no cities that are that small in the States. I was like going to the city of Columbus. I don't know if you know, it's bigger than Riga, but nobody, because it's so small. But it was really beautiful. But everybody knew jazz car. which is the biggest jazz festival in Tallinn. So everyone I talked to, everyone, like, okay, I was talking to musicians maybe, but
makes sense.
Everybody knew jazz car. It was like elementary. So that is how actually a smart city can really communicate itself through those things. And I think it's beneficial in so many ways.
So I guess it all boils down to the transcendent nature of music and how it breaks boundaries and just goes beyond all that.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much for joining us. But before we go, any last words? Anything we should look forward to?
I have one thing.
Yeah, please.
And then you can maybe, I don't know if you are already a keen user and listener of Fairmus, because obviously if we are from the capital of unicorns in Europe, then we just had to combine the fair trade music streaming and the music. So there has been a problem. I don't know if you have noticed, we have a medical situation in the world, which prevents us going to some concerts the way we did. So obviously musicians don't have that many concerts. So there is a problem of how the musicians relate to their craft. So the only thing that stayed from their practice was the recorded music. But as we know, the streaming platforms, they don't tend to actually give too much back to the regular musicians. Ed Sheeran is great, and Beyoncé is doing good, but all the others, not so good. Yeah. So we decided that we turn it around and we let people decide to whom their every month subscription fee goes. So everyone who subscribes to Fairmus, your money is going to those musicians you listen to. So this will actually create a lot of communities around the world, around every little artist and band, and gives everyone a fair chance.
And then it gives a direct support. Like if you want to support your favorite musician, then you know that this is going directly to them.
Yeah, and the money is isolated. It goes anyways. If you listen to 1 second to one musician, they will get it. Okay. And obviously, it is all done kind of in the name of Tallinn, UNESCO Music City, because one day Paul McCartney will send us a postcard saying, hey, thank you, Tallinn.
Well, only one thing I wanted to add to you, and it's a good example in the sense that it actually should be shared with other UNESCO music cities as well. And I've been only to one network meeting 2.5 weeks ago, and it was actually, to my surprise, how active all the members are there, and they are really sharing good things like that with each other. And Fairmus, we can tell to them, and maybe I'm quite positive that there's something that we can learn from the others in the Music Cities network.
Well, there you have it. An idea is born right here on Tallinn Talks podcast. Thank you so much, both of you, for joining us. Thank you for passing through and basically enlightening us on what all this means, what it means for the city, what it means for the people, what it means for the music and creative arts industry as a whole. Lennart and Reigo, thank you. And hopefully maybe in the future, we would have a bit more to talk about when more things have been implemented and we're seeing the fruits.
Exactly. We'll be back. Thank you.
All right, thank you too. Well, you heard it. In 2022, the city of Tallinn will go by the title UNESCO City of Music. With all the events lined up, I'm quite sure the city will have no issues living up to this title this festive season especially. My name is Solis Rose Corte. Thank you very much for watching.